Today on Indie Spotlight, we are looking at TEC 3001, which can be found over on F.Live Indie section for 240 Microsoft points. The idea of TEC 3001 is a platformer made up of mainly speed. The gameplay is made up as you get from point A to point B trying to collect the items and to beat the best time possible. But more to it than just that. As the game goes along, you will realize it's more about actual speed and platforming and having to compensate with the speed to collect the item. As the level goes on and on, it becomes more and more difficult to actually make the jumps, and it will add a fairly in-depth platforming system to it. We'll call it the normal routine of jump, double jump, sliding. But what makes this a little bit different is you having to do not just platforming, but also trying to get to where you're going without running into any walls. Some of the walls you can break through, other you can't, and you will have multiple paths on the break off to collect the items and figure out the best way to get to point B from A. And it actually adds a very interesting dynamic and a little bit of strategy trying to figure out how to get the best time and collect the item without dying. The gameplay itself is actually fairly entertaining, especially if you like time trials or just a fairly decent platformer. Altogether, it's fairly solid for 240 Microsoft points. So for anybody who is looking for a very interesting platformer over on the indie section, I say give it a try. And on top of that, if you actually buy the game, you have 17 in-game achievements which you can unlock by doing many random tasks throughout the game. So, I am Coach Troy. If you have an indie game that you want us to look at or review in general, feel free to send an email over to me at troy@etroplay.info, and I will be back tomorrow with another indie highlight.
Environment has changed.